Okay, guys, I want you to see this happen in real time. This is exactly the kind of thing that would happen to you, and it's happening to me. And I just want you to know that it's happened thousands of times before. Uh, so the setups have dried up here, right? We were targeting in the mid and small cap world. We were trying to find momentum setups in the mid cap and small cap world. Uh, so this is the screen for our mid and small cap momentum strategy that, of course, was performing very badly. We have some things to work out there, but the setups have dried up. You can see we were targeting aerospace and defense because there's a lot of money getting put into that from the one big beautiful bill. And we were also targeting semiconductors, with AI for obvious. There's tons of money getting put into semiconductors. There is no setups here in this scan, and that's the way that it's been pretty much all week. I placed one trade, ATRO, just this one trade. We're still down. Uh, it is what it is. On the low float gappers, if you remember, we were up to about nine, almost 10 grand. We almost doubled the account. And we've had a few stop outs this week, which is to be expected. That's what happens. So last week, I was talking about funding a real money account. And by the way, if you haven't thrown your hat in the ring for which verification software you think that I should use, which one you trust the most, please leave me a comment below about which one you think that I should use, because I am still going to switch to a live account with that. But here's what I want to point out to you guys. This is what I'm getting at the beginning of the video, right? Um, so we had this great run from April 30th all the way through to June 4th, and the strategy was performing very well. We switched to the small cap strategy, the low float gappers. So we had a good run. The strategy was performing well. I was like, let's switch to a live account. Then the broader market dumped out right from underneath of us. I mean, it just had a pullback, right? We just had a pullback. This is a very normal thing to do. What was the result? We had four losing trades in a row. Now, granted, some of these trades were put on and they were just sitting there. They weren't really reaching my profit target. They weren't stopping out. They were just chopping sideways, which in a bullish market is a very strong setup. That's very good if we get that consolidation sideways. However, when the market changed and started going down, this is the kind of data we want to collect. When the market starts dropping out from underneath me, do I need to stop out all those trades for whatever profit or maybe small loss so I don't take a full loss? Maybe I collect some profit. That's the question that we want to answer. So we've got one market cycle here. We seem to be heading back up. We'll see the way things go. But this is the question that I want to answer. Great. The strategy performed really, really well from April 30th, way over here when we were in a bull cycle. We were heading up, trending up. We had a tiny little pullback here, but that wasn't really anything. And then we were heading up further. Then we had an actual decent pullback on volume. So the question that we want to answer, the very important data, is what do we do with this strategy? Does it perform the same? Well, I can tell you that what happened was the moves were happening like crazy moves intraday. It would gap up from like 30 cents to like $1.50 in pre-market and then go to $40 or $28 or something like that. We were getting these nutso moves. Shorts were absolutely getting squeezed. There was definitely some accounts getting blown up through that period. And all I can do right now is make note of that. That's it. I'm not drawing any conclusions. The reason is, even in our best performing strategy, we have 20, what is that, 23, 22 trade occurrences. That's not very many. That's still not a data set. And then, of course, we have these are all of the low float gappers that gap up. And I did do some review on them, as I noted last week, to see if we were missing anything, and we weren't. Okay, here's the other really, really important piece of data. Very, very important. So things are still gapping up. I'm still placing trades. You can see here that on the 10th, I was placing orders. On the 11th, I was placing orders. Like I'm still placing orders, but they're not triggering. And that is extremely important. We are getting stopped out on more trades than we normally would. Nothing's working right now. But what's really important is uh, there's not a lot of these that are gapping up and then wicking me in. So this one did. So here's what I mean. I have this order set up and it did not wick me in. It's not going higher, it's just not doing anything. I'm not in this trade, and that's very important. Where we're going to lose a lot of money is in a situation where the very next day it wicks up and we get our stop entry orders entered, and then it crashes back down and we get stopped out. If we keep getting entered and stopped out, I mean, obviously we're going to lose a lot of money doing that. So that's very important. If that becomes the case at some point, then I really need to make a decision. Do I just not place any trades, or is there a very specific area that I can place trades? And that information I'll be able to tell when I go back and review them. As of right now, we don't have that problem. So I'm not even trying to solve that problem. I'm just aware that it might exist at some point. So that's where I'm at right now. This drawdown from 10,000 back down to 7,200 in profit is that could not be better. Like I am so thrilled with that result because there's still room to improve here. There's still room for me to make that number better, but it's still really, really good. Anytime you double an account, that's a really good outcome. And if you can double it in 5 or 6 weeks and then have the drawdown and you still keep more than 70% of the gains, that's a really good strategy. So I'm really excited about this strategy. I'm really excited to keep working on it, and I'm really excited to share with you the progress we're making and the process. Again, leave me a like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if there's a specific type of verification software that you think I should use when I start using a live account for this strategy. See you on the next one.